Welcome back to It's Kind of a Big Deal. I'm Jenna Horton.
And I'm Olivia Bondi, and this is episode 8. So today we're going to do a mid-year check-in.
It's June.
Yeah, we're 6 months into the year. How's this year felt for you? Short?
So good.
Fast? Long?
Yeah, I don't know.
Mine's felt really long.
In a good way or a bad way?
I don't know. Just like really long. Like Christmas?
Okay, yeah, you're right, actually.
When was Christmas?
It feels like forever
3 years ago.
Yeah.
Jen and I were talking about how there's so much pressure on January 1st for New Year's resolutions. You know what we were doing? We were doing like our hot girl walk competition at the start of the year, remember?
Yeah, 10,000 steps a day.
Yeah, that didn't last long.
No.
Anyways, I think June is a great opportunity for us to check in and kind of see where we're going with our goals.
Yeah, reset. Yeah, I think too, like it's the beginning of summer. It's kind of like January 1st is, at least where we live, is very like gloomy, snowy, gross, cold. Whereas now it feels like refreshing. Like summer's here, we're happy, getting that vitamin D.
Thriving. Yeah, it's 40 degrees outside and I love the heat.
Yeah.
Okay, so because we're a financial freedom podcast, we're going to focus primarily on how we're doing with our budget and I think also mindset, because those two go
hand in hand.
very well together.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So giving people some tools, maybe do you want to provide some tools for people to check in with their budget?
Yeah, I think like when we go back to our budgeting episode, there's definitely lots of tips and tools there. But for myself, like I've said in the past, looking at that monthly instead of just once January 1st and then never looking at it again, I think that a lot of us can fall into that trap. So whether it's quarterly or monthly, just checking in on those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I think those are some good tips. I think that this is a good time of year if you don't already have a financial advisor or a TFSA set up.
Yes.
You can reach out to a professional. It doesn't even have to be like a financial advisor, just going into your branch.
Yeah.
And if you didn't save the first half of the year, maybe work on some savings for the next half of the year.
Yeah, because if not now, then when, right? There's no better time to start than today. And so we've discussed this, like maybe you have a bunch of money sitting in your account and you don't know what to do with it, or maybe you just want to save $20 a week. Like whatever you can do, just start, because it's going to build that habit. So yeah, like you said, either going into the branch or you can reach out to us, and we have some great referrals for financial advisors as well.
I had a really, really rough start to the year financially, just because it was so expensive.
Right. Popping off on trips or?
Well, trips and projects like the motel cost me a bunch of money at the beginning of the year. I had multiple tenants that weren't paying.
Home renovations,
vacancies. My bank account took a hit. And finally now I'm like stabilized again.
Right.
So now I'm definitely like trying to put some practices in place to keep that bank account sitting where it's at, nice and fluffy.
Yeah.
So that I don't feel as stressed as I did, because
I think in our business too, it's difficult in the beginning of the year. That'd be our slowest time of year, probably like December, January, February.
Yeah.
And so saving more now in our busy season, because we are commission-based sales, to kind of get us to get through the winter.
Yeah, you always have to have that nest egg, and then like things always heat up in the summer.
Exactly.
And my one tenant who was not paying me is now paying me back.
Oh.
Yeah, so every Thursday I get a little paycheck.
Oh, a little
which is great. And the Airbnb is flowing, so like there's cash flow coming in there.
Good.
Yeah, I really only pay myself from my rental properties.
Right. Good.
So that's great.
Yeah, that's huge.
I think as we get into the summer, we also have the pressure of like expensive things. Like there's so many activities.
So many activities, yeah.
Like even I haven't been downtown to go out for drinks and like.
We were downtown last Friday.
I know. I was going to say before last Friday. Like all winter. I didn't go downtown all winter.
Okay,
and then it was literally a Friday night and it's like a little bit nice out. It was literally raining and I had to wear a jacket, and I was like, ooh, let's go downtown for patio drinks.
Season. Yeah.
So, like enjoying that, but finding balance in like the cost of that.
Yes, exactly.
One time, this is a hilarious story. I'm going to roast Erin in this episode. I don't know if you were here for this. We were at the Tin Fiddler and there was this guy there and he was like paying for everyone's drinks. Like he was like, put it all on one bill, put it all on one bill. Do you remember this?
Yes. I wasn't there, but I've heard this story.
And then this guy left.
Right.
And there was like I think a $2,000 or $3,000 bill. And Aaron was like, I'll pay for it. And I was like,
don't be a hero.
Don't be literally exactly what I said. I was like, don't be a hero. We can all like split it up and chip in. But like that's an extreme, but like don't be an Aaron.
Yeah.
When you're out, like don't buy everyone and their mother drinks.
Right. Yes. Especially like if you are saving some money and you're feeling a little confident about your finances, it's like just keep that for yourself. Save it for a rainy day. Don't be popping off when you go out.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I know I texted Maddie yesterday. I was like, it is so nice outside. Let's get a drink. And luckily she was working, so I saved some money and didn't go for drinks. But yeah, there are a lot of hidden costs with summertime weather.
We live in such a beautiful community that like we have so much stuff that we can do for free.
Yeah.
And even like, you know, like we live in a beach town, so being able to grab a drink from the LCBO and going to the beach.
Yeah, absolutely. Even like a local brewery, grab a canned beer and just head down to the beach.
Yeah, like we love going to Point Brew and then going and sitting on the sailboat.
Yes.
It's literally costs you like $0.
Yeah.
Well, maybe a few dollars for a couple pints.
Yeah, not bad.
But that's a great thing to do in our towns. Maybe let's brainstorm some other kind of ideas that we can do in the summer that cost you like nothing or a small amount of money.
Much less. Yeah, absolutely. I think if we're thinking like things that are kid friendly, we discussed the Animal Farm is a great option and kids love that.
Yeah, Canatera Park is like nuts. There's like so many different things to do. You could spend a whole day there.
Yeah, just even going for a walk or going to see the animals, going to the park. The beach is there also. You could also go down under the bridge. There's a splash pad there. That's free. So much fun. And then you can watch the boats go by. I know a lot of people like old and young love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then there's the fish that you can feed down there too. So that's always fun.
Yeah, what's that cost these days?
Like 25 cents.
That's amazing.
Yeah, like what can you do for a quarter, honestly?
Nothing. You can't do anything for
Maybe
a quarter
a
these days.
gumball. I think that's probably
inflation hit that too.
Absolutely now.
Yeah. Something that you and I both did, which is very strange at the same time without talking about, was we put our gym memberships on pause.
Yes, I know. I called you last week and I was like, hey, I just canceled my gym membership. And you were like, wait, I just did that 2 days ago.
Yeah, like I've consistently paid for my gym membership for
years?
2018, probably, like 6 years.
Yeah.
And paused it this week because I just have so much going on.
Yeah.
And it's so nice out and it's just like an added expense. And I was feeling like even more guilty about not having the time to go.
Right.
Because I was paying for it.
Yeah, because then it's also, you're not just guilty about the fact that you're not exercising, you're also guilty about the financial responsibility of the gym membership.
Yeah.
And we talked about this as well, that like we go to a gym, I think our membership's about $60 a month. And so that adds up. And if you're only going once a week, if that, then it's just not a good option.
I know one of our servers the other day was telling me that she's had a gym membership since January and she's never gone.
That's another
at the
thing.
same gym as us. And I'm like,
New Year's resolution, a lot of people probably would have went out to buy gym memberships, and we had an episode we talked about canceling subscriptions you don't use. So maybe this mid-year check-in is a time to check in and see.
if you're 6 months in and you haven't used your gym membership yet,
Cancel
it. Yeah. And there's so many great things. Like you can still stay active in the summer, like biking, running,
Walk.
buy some weights.
Yeah.
You could buy like a few weights for $60. That's 1 month of your gym membership. Track workout. During COVID, we hit the track really hard. I know, Sarnia, Petrolia, everywhere has a track. So you can go there and do a workout and it's fun with friends that, if you don't normally socialize with them, you might be able to double it up as a little visit.
Yes, absolutely.
Country runs, she wrote.
Oh, country runs.
Yeah, country runs suck. That's one thing I hate about where I live is when I go for a run, it's straight up the dirt road and back the dirt road.
Right, you're seeing the same trees both ways.
Yeah, so like literally I'm like, I go to this pile of a burn pile and I touch the burn pile at the end of the road and then I turn around.
Right.
But I can spice that up by just like getting in my car and driving somewhere and going for a run.
Yeah, and that's true.
Gives me variety.
You don't have to run in your own neighborhood. And there's so
you
many
don't.
different parks. Like I actually haven't really explored them around Sarnia, but you said Canatera, but like Wawanosh or
Yeah. We have such a crazy trail system. The one day I was running at the one trail system off of Modlin.
Okay.
And I was trying to do a 10K and I took a wrong turn and ended up back in my car and just got in the car and went home. I was like, God's plan, not meant to be. So at least map out your track before you go.
True.
Okay, so one other thing I think that we can do to help save some money this summer is packing a lunch.
Yes, I guess if you're going to pop off and go for patio drinks, maybe after work or on the weekend, you're spending more money there.
Yep.
So save it with something like packing a lunch.
Yeah, I'm usually really, really good at packing a lunch.
Right.
But lately I have been not doing great because we've been working at the restaurant in the evenings until late, and I just don't, like, I don't even know if I can keep my dishwasher in like a week and a half. Right. It's just like clean and sitting there.
Yeah. I'm really bad for packing lunch. Like, I eat out every single day. Like, not unhealthy. Like, I'll still grab something healthy-ish, but I'm not packing lunch.
So does Aaron. Honestly, I made sandwiches for Aaron last week. I go to his office to drop them off, and he's like sitting in there with like a bunch of guys from his work. And I bring in these like 2 like stunning sandwiches. While I'm still there, he goes, "Hey Brad, do you want to go out for lunch?" And he was not kidding.
No.
And he was like, "Yeah, I'm not eating those."
And you took the time out of your day to deliver them to
and his coworker
work.
was like, "Man, at least wait till she leaves."
Oh my
And then asked me to go out for lunch.
Jesus.
So savage. He loves going out for lunch.
Right, yeah.
And he'll never tell me. I'll be like, "What'd you eat today?" He's like, "I'll never tell. Can't say." And then like in the garbage is like whatever Taco Bell that he had that day.
Oh God.
I can't even imagine. I'm glad we don't have shared accounts so that I don't see I don't care what he spends on lunch.
That's true. Yes. Pack a lunch. That'll save some money.
Pack a lunch. Okay. So I'm going to ask Jenna a question, and we encourage you to ask yourself this. I think getting in the right mindset to set goals is really important.
Mm-hmm. And reflecting.
Yeah. So we're going to go through some questions, and if you guys could leave them in the comments, your answers, we would love that.
Yeah, we'll post it to our story as well, and then...
So, okay, Jenna, first question I'm going to ask you is, this year I feel proud of myself because...
Okay. I love this question.
Okay, you can take your time.
Yeah. I think that...
she's ready.
Oh, because I know. I think of this every day for this one specific thing. Like, it comes up a lot in my day-to-day thoughts and mindset.
Yeah.
And so this year, I would say I'm proud of myself for choosing the simple life.
Okay.
And so in previous years, that has not been the case. Been very busy. I don't know, had the big house, did the things. And like this year, I'm just choosing simplicity. Yeah, just doing what I want to do when I want to do it. And
do you see a single tear rolling down my cheek?
What do you mean?
Because I'm so jealous.
Yes, so jealous. Because your life is complete opposite right now.
It's so bizarre how everything that we're doing is complete opposites right now.
But we're still best friends.
Yeah, but we're usually aligned. We're like, doing this, doing that. And then this year, we went like...
Yes. And like, honestly, I'm really happy with where you're at in your life, and I'm cheering you on from the sidelines and front row. I'm cheering you on front row. But for me, it's just not the path that I want right now.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling very content with that. I think that in making these choices, I could have felt some regret or some uncertainty, I guess. But I'm feeling so sure that like this is what I'm supposed to be doing right now, and I'm happy.
And I think playing out what that simple life looks like, right? Like financially, you know, like we did look at that. Like what would it look like if I did this or did that? And I think we talked about that in a previous episode. But like being like, okay, what if I did what I'm doing right now, and how is that going to look for my life?
Yeah, and I think it's just like we kind of took the pressure off things. Like we played out a bunch of different scenarios as to what, and I guess there was a certain amount of pressure that I felt personally with selling my own house and then having that money and what to do with it. And just choosing a simple life is kind of taking the pressure off of that.
Yeah, I like that.
It's feeling good.
So I think that mine would be like kind of similar to that, but not my life. Okay. I am proud of myself because I've said this 10 times, but we have so much going on right now. Like probably the busiest I've ever been in my life. Yeah. And just being okay with the fact that like things are going to get done when they get done. Yeah. I'm such a control freak that I really struggle with timing on that, and I can be hard on the people around me if they don't meet those deadlines. Right. So like our house is torn apart, and then something else took priority, and I was like it was causing me to lose sleep at night. I was thinking about it all the time, and then I was like, it's okay. We have a home. It's okay if my hardwood floors are done. I get the cleaning lady to go in and clean them. There you go. There's no trim. But it's a little rough around the edges, but like that is the way it is right now. And until we get our other projects done, I just have to be at peace with the fact that it is going to be that way. And that's something that like takes a lot for me. It's it's an active, you know, sometimes I come home and I spiral because like the landscaping needs redone, and like I come home and I'm like, no one's coming to our house.
Right.
But it's just, things are going to get done when they get done.
Yeah, you're just like adjusting your expectations and your mindset towards these things.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
So I'm proud of that, because releasing control is hard.
Absolutely. And you're juggling a lot. And so to be able to do that is important.
Yeah. And then you can actually focus more on getting things done when you
Yes.
release that pressure on yourself of like,
Yeah.
yeah, especially because it's a lot of things that I'm not able to do.
Right.
Or I wouldn't be able to do well.
Well, yeah.
So like I need to be patient and
Yes.
wait for the drywall or wait for whatever it is.
Yeah.
I've done a ton of renovations in my life, but I've never done them in my personal home that I lived through them. So that's like huge for me as well, because normally it's like, you know, there's a job site, it's going on, it's separate, you pop in, but like to actually live in it is totally different.
That's true. I never really considered that for you.
Yeah, it's terrible. Don't recommend it.
So that's what you're proud of, releasing some control.
Yeah, releasing control.
Good.
Yeah.
I like that.
This year, one of the best decisions I've made is...
Me first?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay. I made a pretty big decision this year. So this is also an easy one for me to answer. The best decision that I made this year was dissolving my business partnership amicably.
Okay.
And that's also something that I'm feeling really at peace with. So I was in a business partnership for 4 years, and maybe it was a long time coming, the end of the relationship. But last year, with everything going on, it probably wasn't the ideal time to end the business partnership as well. So waited and did that in March, and I'm feeling really good about that as well.
Yeah, I remember when you told me, it was like, I actually remember it was in the parking lot at HomeSense.
Oh, I remember too.
And I was like, what? Like, I don't know why I was so shocked.
Right.
Because we'd obviously had that conversation
Yeah.
a million times. But yeah, I think that the timing surprised me, because it wasn't a time when things were volatile.
You're right.
Right? Like sometimes when things are like, shh, 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 shh,
Yeah.
you feel the need to leave, but you waited until things were calm and then you left, which is funny.
And I think that's maybe how I knew that it was the right decision to make, because I wasn't making it at a time when things were not good. And so, yeah, I'm feeling that's the best decision that I've made this year so far.
Yeah, and I think like business partnerships, we're probably going to do an episode on business
should.
partnerships, because you know, you and I have both learned a lot about them over the past few years, good and bad. And we also just went through a restructure in ownership in our business.
Yeah.
And I just think it's really important to really know who you're getting into business with, and know if that person has like-minded business decisions as you.
And the same values.
And that's like similar to a partnership with a person, right? Like a relationship.
Yes. Romantic or business, you're still dealing with this person every single day, and it really impacts your life.
Yeah, and unfortunately for me, my business partner is also my romantic partner.
Oh God, that's not for me.
Yeah, it's wild.
Absolutely.
It's a wild ride. And it adds in a whole nother level of like respect that's required, because it's not like, well, I've had business partners in the past that it was simply a business transaction, and we were able to sit in front of each other and say, you know, we're not friends, I respect you, but this is a business transaction,
right?
And we don't really talk outside of that. Whereas when it's your partner and you go home and you have to set boundaries of like talking about business 24/7, and you know, really viewing them as a business partner and reminding yourself that they are still your romantic partner.
That's something you need to continue to work on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I would say one of the best decisions I've made this year is also probably related to structuring businesses. I have some new real estate business partners that are great. Once again, we're just in the opposite direction.
Right.
You're going solo and I joined a team.
True.
So I'm really excited to work with some people that have a ton of knowledge and dive into the commercial space a little bit more.
Yeah, maybe that'll be our next episode then, business partnerships. I like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we definitely encourage you guys to answer those questions for yourself. Like, what are you most proud of from the past 6 months as like a mid-year check-in, and what's the best decision that you have made so far?
Yeah.
And then also resetting and looking at your goals again and making a plan for the next 6 months before we come up on January 1st again.
Yeah, and I think it's a great question to ask people around you as well, right? Just to like inspire
If you're grabbing
others.
a patio drink
if you're grabbing a patio drink, there's a good
There you
conversation
go.
topic. Like, I'm not someone that's like into the affirmations. Like you had your answers like
Yeah.
toot sweet, whereas I don't really think of those things.
Right. But I think it's so good
I think
for
it's your
mindset.
simple life. You're just slowed down and you're just reflecting.
Little hippy dippy doo.
Yeah. And I'm like, yeah. Okay, I think that's all for today.
Sounds
We
good.
will see you next time. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys.